I'm going to teach you guys how to solo over, well, and how to play Eyes of the World. So just jumping straight into it, Eyes of the World starts in E major. It's over in E major 7. And so the way I like to play the intro lick is at the 7th fret. I know I don't have fretboard markers, so sorry about that. You're going to bar the 7th fret and you're going to play an E major 7. So you're barring the 7th fret, and then with your ring finger on the D string, you're playing the 9th, and then middle finger on the G string, you're playing 8, and then pinky on the B string, you're playing a 9. And then you have that top E. And you don't play the low E, really. It's more like from the A to the E, those 5 strings. And the important thing about playing Eyes of the World is it has really pronounced downbeats. And it has that kind of just loose but very tight feel to it. I think the rhythm has a large part of the feel to the intro. So let me get through the chords and then I'll talk a little bit more about that rhythm. So we have that E major 7, and then the next chord, you just move that same chord down a whole step and get rid of the pinky. I don't want to get too theory on you, but it's kind of like it's basically like an A, a 1, 3, and a 5 with a 4 in it. Doesn't really matter. It's this like modified A that's nice and mellow. And then the third chord, you're playing on the 4th fret, you're barring the entire thing, and then with your pinky, you're on the 7th fret on the A string, and then your ring finger, you're on the 6th fret on the D string, and it's just another inversion of an E major 7. So you have those 3 chords, and if you add in that rhythm, and you put them all together, you get this. So I'm sliding into that first chord and then landing that last chord. It's like the A, modified A is in the middle, and then that other inversion of the E major 7 is the last chord there on that downbeat. So that's pretty much it. And then Bobby usually plays like some higher inversion melodic harmony that it like harmonizes with the main riff. So I'm going to put up on screen, it's basically just the major scale, with a lot of emphasis on the 7, because it's an E major 7. And then like using, so you got 1 or 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You have this 4, which is green, the 7 and the 4. 7 you can land on, the 4 is this nice flavorful passing note. And then it kind of ties into that intervallic thing I made a video about recently, but also a video from a long time ago where I talk about note groupings, kind of like Dickie Betts. Like those types of licks. If you don't do those types of licks, those note grouping licks, this is a good one to try. So if we just have the pentatonic up here, you're going to go 9, 12, 9 on the E, and then on the B you're going to hit 12 and then 12 on the E, and then back down to the 12 on the B. You should get really comfortable with those types of those licks. That's like a great precursor into that's like what kind of primes you for the mentality or the mindset of the rhythm to solo over Eyes of the World. The intro. So the intro is just an E major 7, and where you're going to be using that scale and some of those double stop or note grouping type licks and some intervallic approaches. I'm going to show you what that sounds like, and then we'll add a little bit of chromaticism so you can hear what that sounds like. Landing on that major 7. There's that 7. 7. And a lot of times Jerry's doing those 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those types of licks, and you're just descending in a scale at whatever, you know, position you start. But I think a key though is like he does that a lot, but he also changes it up so it doesn't become super formulaic. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way down in perfect succession. He'll kind of spice it up and change things in there. And then also, you know, the blues note right here. We're on the 12th fret on the G string. He uses that a lot. Or connecting notes in between your pentatonic. Right? He does those kind of 1, 2, 3, 4 pull-offs. And that lick is starting at the 14th fret and pulling off with each finger down to the 11th fret on the high E string. So that you land on that major 7. So here's some chromaticism. Thing I want to show you is just a cool lick. If you're here at the 4th fret on the E string, you can go to the 4th fret of the B string. Or play that E string open. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the rest of the like actual song form. It's more about like the solo section. So the intro is just over that E major 7 type of sound. When you get to the actual solo section, you land back in E major 7, but then it goes to a B minor and an A. Let me loop that, and then I'll talk about what to do over it, just so that we have it in here. I'm going to use that in just a second, but what we do when we first go into that E major 7 is exactly what we did in the intro. We have that E major 7, you know, major pentatonic E sound with a little bit of chromaticism. But when you go to the B minor, it becomes more of like this Dorian sound, which I'm going to put the scale up, which kind of has the exact same notes it's that modified pentatonic. You're just, you know, the 4 note gets raised up a half step. And when you go to the A, it's nice to outline the A as a chord tone. But you'll see that a lot of the notes in that A are in that kind of B Dorian scale. So mainly I just view it as shifting between those two scales, right? When it's on the E major 7, and then when you go to the B, the magic is kind of weaving in between them, because, you know, you have this note when you're in the B minor, but you have this note when you're in the E major. So there's this tension and release thing that happens when you... It doesn't sound as cool without the context, but when I put it on, you'll hear. It'll feel like this nice release. I mean, even that change is really nice. I'm going from that 7, the 11th fret on the top of the E, and then I'm going to 10 on the top of the E, because that's what's in that new scale. Landing on that 7. You hear how it kind of wants to resolve back to that? So it's pretty simple. You have 2 different scales, but you have unlimited ways to weave them together and resolve them, and that's where the fun is, especially over, you know, this song, when you add in that cool kind of rhythm that Jerry would have. So hopefully that's like a little more simple than maybe it was before. I think it just takes a lot of practice. You know, don't beat yourself up if you don't have these cool weaving lines right off the beginning. It takes years and years to get good at it. And I think the impact of hearing Jerry like both write a song like Eyes of the World, but also be able to solo over it in 1973, just that one song alone, it's like he like doubled his guitar powers. You know, the jump from like the beginning of 1972 or the end of 1971 to the end of 1973, he was like a different guitar player. He had a crazy chops. Check out it's in the rarities, the live rarities collection, which is just like a blue steely. But I think the date's September 7th, 1973. It's a really beautiful Eyes of the World, and man, he's just got such good chops, and he lands on that major 7 in really satisfying ways. Okay, that's this might be a shorter one, but there's a lot to practice here, so good luck.